Good evening. Today we're going to be talking about marketing, specifically how Chapter 1 has helped me perceive marketing and how it's defined, how it's changed over time, and lastly, I'm going to talk about the two parts of the marketing strategy. So, first off, how would I define marketing after reading Chapter 1 of our book? Well, I would say that marketing is defined as a process of creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging thoughts, ideas, value to customers. And the companies really have to see that and know which areas they're exceeding in, which areas they need to work on. And a lot of people, they used to think, this is including me, if you're not educated, you probably still think this, that marketing is just advertising or just trying to sell something. But it's really not. It's really way more complex. It's you have to understand what the consumer needs. You have to build products and services and build relationships. You have to make sure those relationships last. You have to provide solutions to problems, satisfy needs that the customer would want. And you're going to see those things I just talked about throughout how they all came together nowadays. They used to be separate in their own little eras, but I'm going to get into how marketing has changed over time now, and you're going to see how the eras formed. And we'll start with the first era, which was the production era. It was where companies were manufacturing boatloads, tons of goods in hopes that customers would just buy it. I mean, they just thought the more they produced, like just produce in mass, just keep producing, then the customers would just buy and buy and it would keep their business afloat. Um, an example would be Henry Ford just cranking out his automobiles in his factory. He created the assembly line. He really wanted to just fly these cars off the shelves, essentially. And they just wanted this era was made just to make products widely available for anyone. The next era I'm going to talk about is the sales era. And this era started around 1920s, went about to 1950s. And this was where companies relied heavily on persuading people to buy their product and, for lack of a better term, being aggressive with it. Um, this is how I thought about it. Think of a door-to-door salesman coming up to your house. They're always just really nagging at you. Of course, it depends on which one you talk to, but most of them, you think of a door-to-door salesman, you think of almost like annoying the way the amount of times they just won't stop. They just want you to buy this product. They really try to convince you. And yeah, sales era, where you really try to persuade someone and really push your products onto people. Now, by the mid 20th century, the marketing era started to come up, and I I like this era. I watched a video, one of my commercials on the marketing era. Um, I learned a lot from that video and that assignment talking about it is where businesses should start. This is their belief in that marketing era that businesses should work off of people's needs. If the people, your customers, if they need something, then you go and buy it. Then you go and produce it. Sorry. If someone needs something, then you go and produce it to fulfill their need. You don't just start buying stuff and then try to, like the past, you just started making stuff in hopes that people would buy it. This is where, I mean, I thought it kind of shifted into caring about customers and really showing your consumers that you have a passion for wanting to make their lives better. And yeah, you are fulfilling a need by making a product after you see a problem with it. That was the marketing era. You need to first understand what they need, create the product, and then that would hopefully satisfy the customer. Then this is more recently 1990s to 2000. The relationship era came about. Relationship era and social media era are really prevalent nowadays, but they are separate. Relationship era is was a little bit sooner, and so I'm going to talk about that separate. Relationship era, that was where companies really tried to build loyalty. They wanted retaining customers. They wanted customers to l- like their services, like the product so much that they would keep coming back. They wanted to be nice, and from marketing, from the marketing era to now, it's gone even more about caring about your customers. Like you want a relationship and a connection with them, and you want to build that trust and build like a personalization that that customer is gonna really feel and know, wow, this company really cares about me. They're really trying to make an effort. And yeah, that really worked in 1990s to 2000s. And then once 2000s hit, that was this is 2000s to now, social media era came about. And this is where you see you see it all the time. Ads on social media, YouTube, you see ads on TikTok, you see Facebook, Instagram, all the social media platforms, you see ads every day. And this is definitely right for our time period because back then, when they had in the 20th century, they had no cell phones, no internet, no availability to look online, and it was all face to face pretty much, all word of mouth. Now you see everything on your phone screen, and now other companies are going to have to compete with people from your local company. You got to compete with people across the country, across the world selling the same product because the customers now know about that product across the world because of social media, because they get that in the palm of their hands now. And yeah, it's definitely really changed throughout the years, but social media is where we are at. That's social media era is where we are at currently. And it might, who knows, it might change soon, might change 100 years. Social media still might be the most prevalent thing, the most used marketing strategy that we have later on, but we just know that's what it is right now, is we're in the social media era of marketing. And that leads me to my last point in that talking about the two parts of the marketing strategy, and those are target market and marketing mix. Now, these are very important, and if you're a business owner, if you're in marketing in general, they're very important. Target market, you got to understand target market. If you're making a product, you're making it for a certain group of people, and that is your target market. Your target market is let's say you're making um, fitness bands. That's just a random thing I just thought of. Fitness bands. Your target market is going to be in the fitness industry, probably 20, 30-year olds, maybe go on down to the teenagers, people who would be into fitness in that age group. Target market, yeah, target market. Someone who, how I explain it is target market is who you are selling to, the specific group is target market. Now, marketing mix is a little more, marketing mix will help you with your target market. The book talked about 4 P's of the marketing mix, and that's what I'll go over. 4 P's to the marketing mix: product, price, place, and promotion. Product, price, place, and promotion. 4 P's of the marketing mix. And if you really get all 4 of those categories down, plus you know your target market, you just need to create a good product and the product's going to be flying off the shelves. Of course, you obviously have to make a product worth buying, but this is why you market is no one's going to know about your product if you never tell anyone about it, if you never get customers to stay, retain customers. And this is what these two parts of the marketing strategy really help with is knowing who you got to sell to. And if you know who you're going to sell to, they like your product, they're going to stay with your company. You just gained a retaining customer. And then marketing mix, like I talked about, 4 P's, 4 categories that you need to worry about. And you have to focus on each one individually. And once you have your 4 P's down, essentially, then you're going to be looking at a really well built company and really going to ensure that customers are really going to like you, come back, buy from you again. Um, so that is it. That is the basic rundown of chapter 1 and how I perceived marketing and those 3 topics from chapter 1. Thank you.